silver captain, gold major, and purple general. Above these, stars were affixed, signifiers of military merit within the ranks. The more stars, the greater the merit, with 10 being the pinnacle. In the entirety of the Shenxia Empire, there were scarcely 10 individuals on par with By God. "Come, we have another destination," By God said. Guided by God, Lin Moyue soon entered the hallowed Hall of Heroes. The sight of innumerable golden plaques floating densely packed before him left him awestruck. By God provided context. This sacred place pays tribute to the venerable heroes of our Shenxia Empire. Each plaque afloat here represents a fallen hero. They met their end on the battlefield, and in death, they did not return home. Instead, they continue to watch over the empire with the strength of their souls. Shenxia's younger generation, Bai Yi Yuan, pleads with the imperial sages to bless my junior. As his plea ended, a resplendent golden light burst forth from the Tower of Destruction above, enveloping Lin Moyue in its radiance. Concurrently, a star on By God's badge faded away. It was in this moment that the true intent behind Bless My Junior became clear to Lin Moyue. By God had sacrificed an entire star of his own meritorious achievements, imprinting Lin Moyue's spiritual mark upon the Tower of Destruction. This ensured that should Lin Moyue fall on the Yuan battlefield, there remained a chance for his resurrection. Acknowledging this gesture, Lin Moyue etched By God's kindness deep into his memory. By God then approached, clapped Lin Moyue on the shoulder, and advised him not to overthink, just to focus on vanquishing as many foes as possible on the Yuan battlefield. Now, let me brief you on the battlefield. The Shenxia Empire's war fortresses are collectively known as the Eternal Great Wall, comprising 9 fortresses in total. We're currently at the first and foremost fortress. There are numerous dungeon gateways scattered across the battlefield, but abyssal creatures guard them fervently, blocking human access. You should buy more teleportation stones for a swift return to the fortress. After imparting these final instructions, By God made his departure. From then on, it was up to Lin Moyue. No sooner had By God left than Lin Moyue ventured toward the Yuan battlefield alone. A nearby guard noticed his level, merely 22, and promptly cautioned him, "Young lad, the weakest monster outside is level 30 and abyssal monsters will appear too. It would be wise to have a senior accompany you." However, Lin Moyue feigned a casual demeanor, claiming he was just going to take a look, and continued onward. The moment he stepped beyond the threshold, the pervasive aura of the abyss washed over him. He barely had time to admire the alien landscape when his skeleton armor instinctively sprung into defensive mode. An attack already? The perils of the Yuan battlefield greatly surpassed Lin Moyue's initial estimations. As soon as he left the safe zone, an invisible monster launched an attack. The monster, capable of evading detection and immune to physical attacks, rendered Lin Moyue's skeletal warrior useless. In response, Lin Moyue conjured a skeletal mage, hoping that elemental magic would be effective where brute force had failed. The skeletal mage's elemental onslaught proved effective, catching the invisible monster off guard. A strand of soul energy then drifted into Lin Moyue's grasp, carrying with the will of the deceased on the battlefield, potent enough to fortify his armaments. Yet, this only heightened Lin Moyue's caution. If there were monsters immune to physical harm, surely there might also be those immune to magical attacks, or worse, to both. Despite wandering for over 2 hours, the dungeon's gateway eluded him. It was the sound of distant voices that eventually drew his attention, a cadre of humans in a frenzied retreat, their cries of alarm piercing the air. "Run! The abyssal monsters are on our trail." Only then did Lin Moyue spot the pack of abyssal hounds in hot pursuit, their numbers too great to ignore. But Lin Moyue faced them without a trace of fear. Upon seeing human limbs gripped in the abyssal hound's jaws, the disgust in Lin Moyue's eyes was unmistakable. "Dogs like you should die." In the next breath, he unsheathed the Reaper's sickle and, with a commanding cry, "Go forth, my warriors." He summoned a legion of skeletons. The silver-grade skeleton, upon receiving the order, acted instantly. Unfazed by the abyssal hound's aura of the abyss, it charged forward to engage the beast without hesitation. And the skeleton mages behind them unleashed all kinds of elemental magic, drowning the abyssal hounds. With the abyssal hound slain, the first star materialized automatically on Lin Moyue's badge. At the same time, the Reaper's sickle in Lin Moyue's hand absorbed a trace of the abyssal soul, growing in power. After a quick assessment, Lin Moyue estimated that slaying 30 abyssal monsters would elevate his weapon to level 2. Seizing the opportunity, he activated the corpse explosion skill on the remains of the abyssal monsters. A massive explosion ensued, obliterating the abyssal hound's pack in an instant. As the dust settled, Lin Moyue sensed his military merit surging, and his sickle achieved the anticipated level 2. The humans who had just fled noticed the commotion from Lin Moyue's direction and turned, incredulous, to witness the source of the upheaval. With assistance from the grateful survivors, Lin Moyue at last discovered the entrance to the first dungeon. The crowd, recognizing his prowess, extended invitations for him to join their ranks, but Lin Moyue declined with politeness. He approached the dungeon's gateway alone. It was then that he noticed the option to select Hell level difficulty. Intrigued and undaunted, he chose to embrace the challenge. Under the astonished gazes of the onlookers, he teleported into the dungeon without a moment's hesitation. Did he actually go in alone? They muttered in disbelief, labeling him as reckless. At that moment, the White Country bystander pulled out a dungeon detector to check. As soon as the talisman was activated, the details of the dungeon were revealed. One team was currently attempting the normal difficulty with 4 survivors, 2 teams were struggling through the nightmare difficulty with 12 survivors, and astonishingly, a single team was braving the Hell level difficulty with just 1 survivor. At that moment, everyone stared at the message in disbelief. He actually entered the Hell level difficulty alone. Isn't that a death wish? The onlookers from Country Y also scoffed. The younger generation from Shenxia is so stupid. How about we place a bet on how long he'll last? These mocking words immediately provoked the ire of a Shenxia warrior. Watch your mouth. Someone from Country Y dares to provoke Shenxia. Do you want to die so badly? The mocker could only turn away. Despite their defense, they couldn't help but show a look of pity. Even the seasoned warriors of Shenxia didn't believe that Lin Moyue could survive the Hell level difficulty on his own. As Lin Moyue stepped into the dungeon, he immediately sensed the stark contrast between the Hell level and Nightmare level difficulties. His storage space was inaccessible, leaving him without supplies or the option to use a teleportation stone for a quick escape. At that precise moment, a patrol of dungeon monsters noticed the intrusion. Their eyes glinted with ferocity as they charged toward Lin Moyue. Upon observing the attributes of the dragon spearman, Lin Moyue immediately gathered all his focus and prepared for the fight. The stats of the enemy before him not only surpassed those of his own skeleton warrior, but they were also on par with a boss from the Nightmare level difficulty. To Lin Moyue's astonishment, even the basic attacks of the Hell level monsters carried stun effect. His skeleton warriors were immediately paralyzed, and within seconds, 3 of them were slain. Shocked by the potency of the enemy's assault, Lin Moyue swiftly deployed additional skeleton warriors to encircle the dragon spearman, while his skeleton mages rained down magical attacks from afar. Despite his claims that sheer numbers would prevail regardless of individual strength, Lin Moyue couldn't help but grow cautious. His forces of skeleton warriors were considerable, but their vulnerability to the monster's stun effect meant they could offer little resistance once afflicted. And with the stun effect in place, recalling the immobilized skeletons was out of the question. However, the challenging nature of the dungeon only served to stir excitement in Lin Moyue. Until now, he had always breezed through obstacles, but this was the first time he encountered a scenario demanding such caution. Despite Lin Moyue's heightened caution, the ever-vigilant dragon sentinels still managed to detect his presence. Lin Moyue sighed at the formidable difficulty of this level, reluctantly resorting to sacrificing a few skeleton warriors as a diversion. Yet the plan was short-lived. The skeleton warrior was swiftly bound by the wind shackles, catching Lin Moyue off guard. This revealed an unsettling truth: the monsters here could actually use simple spells, suggesting they possessed some form of intelligence. With his strategy thwarted, Lin Moyue reverted to the brute force of numbers, sending wave after wave of his skeleton warrior. At the expense of 5 skeleton warriors, he finally managed to eliminate a number of dragon spearmen. At that critical juncture, the dragon mages launched a surprise assault on Lin Moyue's skeleton mages, evidently recognizing them as the greater threat. Yet Lin Moyue was vigilant, spotting the ambush in time to retaliate with his soul flame, a counterstrike that ignored defenses and vanquished the attacker instantly. As the dragon mage fell, Lin Moyue was taken aback to discover it had dropped the very item the by God sought, the dragon's horn. The rarity of the drop, however, presented a new challenge. Amidst the multitude of foes he had dispatched, only one had yielded the prize. After summoning his injured skeleton warrior back to the summoning space, Lin Moyue pressed on into the depths, soon crossing paths once again with the patrolling dragon sentinels. This time, to conserve his skeleton warriors, Lin Moyue devised a new strategy. He would have the warriors draw the monsters in close, then apply the slow curse to inhibit their advance. It's time to fight back, my skeleton mages. Back at Elder Meng's quiet courtyard, the by God had just returned. As Master Meng was serving tea, he noticed that a star was missing from the badge on the by God's chest. It seems you're quite intent on training him, Master Meng observed with a hint of surprise. You even bestowed upon him the spiritual imprint in the Hall of Heroes. The 5-star Divine General has now been reduced to 4 stars. The by God, however, dismissed the concern with a nonchalant wave of his hand. It's just merit, yet Lin Moyue is a rare genius. It would be a true tragedy if we were to lose him. I've given him a task to collect materials from the dragon race. Master Meng shook his head discreetly, well aware of the low drop rates for such items on nightmare level difficulty. Yet, the by God simply chuckled. This challenge was precisely what he had intended. Fortuitously, Lin Moyue had the cooldown talisman he had provided, and he surmised that 7 or 8 attempts should suffice. At that very moment, Master Meng's face tightened with concern. Let's not forget the dragon frontline post's hell level difficulty. The reality of the situation dawned on by God. Damn, he better not have chosen hell level difficulty. Master Meng offered reassurance, suggesting that there wasn't much cause for concern. After all, he could carry 39 people alone in the Tyrant Desert, and by God gave Haim the spiritual imprint. The by God pondered deeply. What if he actually manages to conquer the hell level difficulty? As they conversed, Lin Moyue had already vanquished over 20 dragon mages. This dungeon delve proved to be his most challenging yet. Not only were the monsters' attributes impressively high, but their coordinated assaults added another layer of difficulty. Now his excitement was palpable. I'm curious to see what the boss will be like. As Lin Moyue navigated through the dungeon, he eventually reached the castle where the boss dwelt. Just as he was about to signal his skeletal warriors to commence their assault, they were obliterated in a mere moment, unable to mount any defense. This abrupt turn of events catapulted Lin Moyue into a state of heightened vigilance. What on earth is that? Such formidable power, such astonishing speed. Soon, Lin Moyue realized that he was contending with another adversary skilled in invisibility. Without hesitation, he commanded his skeleton mage to unleash spells over a wide area. Upon receiving the command, the skeleton mage unleashed a carpet-style bombardment of ice and wind magic. It wasn't long before the invisible dragon assassin was compelled to reveal its presence. In the blink of an eye, a skeleton warrior materialized before an assassin, dispatching it with a decisive slash. Seeing the attributes of this dragon assassin, Lin Moyue was inwardly shocked. The combination of invisibility skills with a fatal blow, no wonder it could instantly kill the skeleton warrior. However, he knew that every skill had its Achilles heel. Once attacked, the invisibility would falter, and their advantage would vanish. With the strategic support of the skeleton mage, it wasn't long before Lin Moyue's skeleton warriors had eliminated all of the dragon assassins. At the same time, Lin Moyue also acquired the coveted dragon heart material from the fallen foes. Now, if he could only overcome the archers defending the castle, he would be on his way to confront the boss. At this moment, the relentless barrage of arrows presented a formidable barrier. Yet, for Lin Moyue, such obstacles were merely minor inconveniences. In the next instant, he commanded a skeleton warrior to hurl the corpse of a dragon assassin into the sky, while he himself unleashed the corpse explosion skill. The resulting explosion, under the horrified stares of the dragon archers, claimed several lives in mere seconds, and their defenses crumbled. With the path cleared, Lin Moyue led the charge into the castle, swiftly collecting dragon blood essence from the vanquished. Now, the only one left is the dragon core. As the skeleton army swarmed the castle, the dragon guards were overwhelmed by sheer numbers and began to falter. But as Lin Moyue scoured the vicinity, the anticipated boss was nowhere to be seen. Puzzled by its absence, he was suddenly taken aback as the colossal stone statue beside him began to crack. As the last of the stones crumbled away, a fearsome boss, radiating a terrifying aura, loomed before Lin Moyue. Feeling the formidable might of the boss for the first time, Lin Moyue couldn't help but break into a nervous sweat. With a forceful stomp, he swiftly distanced himself from the adversary. It was at that very moment that the boss unleashed a thunderous roar, signaling its release from restraints and readiness to attack. Seizing the opportune moment, Lin Moyue cast the slow curse, keenly aware that allowing such a swift enemy to move unimpeded would spell disaster for him. As the bindings of the slow curse took hold, the sentry post guardian bellowed in fury. Yet, what it faced was an onslaught from Lin Moyue and his relentless skeleton army. When the dust settled, Lin Moyue strained to see if their assault had heavily injured the boss. To his dismay, instead of the hope for devastation, he was met with the sight of two blazing scarlet eyes, full of rage. The guardian emerged not only unscathed but also with significantly boosted resistance, greatly diminishing the effect of the slow curse. With a sweep of its crowd attack skill, the boss decimated the 4 skeleton warriors. This was quickly followed by a group daze, immobilizing the remaining warriors. In the blink of an eye, the 12 frontline skeleton warriors were reduced to nothing but dust. Upon witnessing the potency of the stun skill, Lin Moyue's gaze grew intense. He knew he needed to find a countermeasure. In response, he summoned the undead general, whose presence lent a military influence buff to his forces. To his surprise, Lin Moyue noticed the dizziness effect on the skeleton warriors dissipate. Initially, he thought the undead general's military influence had removed the effect, but he soon realized it merely hastened the recovery from the dizziness, a significant advantage nonetheless. My skeletons have nothing to fear if your stun skill is useless. He issued another command for the skeleton army to surge forward. The sentry post guardian, now bereft of the stun advantage, struggled against the overwhelming numbers, and its health began to dwindle steadily. Even subsequent attempts at unleashing the group stun skill were swiftly mitigated by the military influence buff. At that moment, a smile curled at the corners of Lin Moyue's lips, his confidence palpable as victory over the boss seemed all but assured. However, the next moment brought a jolt of shock. The boss suddenly bypassed the other skeleton soldiers and lunged directly at Lin Moyue, clearly intent on the tactical of cutting the head off the snake. Fortunately, the skeleton armor negated the boss's stun effect, otherwise, given the boss's formidable damage, Lin Moyue would likely have been killed instantly. Since your stun has failed, your end is nigh. His soul flame, bypassing defenses, struck the sentry post guardian unerringly. Then, the skeleton mage went on a wild barrage of spells, bombarding the boss non-stop, until finally the boss couldn't take it anymore and drained its last drop of blood. With the fall of the sentry post guardian, Lin Moyue acquired the essential job advancement certificate for his second transfer and earned the title of Dragon War King. This victory granted him a massive boost, increasing all attributes by 500 and having the consumption of all his skills by 50%. Now, he's leveled up to 23. At the same time, with the 10x talent bonus, the attributes of the silver-level skeleton warrior in all 4 dimensions reached 5,500, while the skeleton mage's mental strength soared to a terrifying 9,200. In addition, he had completed more than 1/3 of the quests given to him by the By God. At this point, Lin Moyue had already been teleported out of the dungeon. However, after the skeleton had recovered, he intended to use the cooldown talisman to continue at the hell level difficulty. But the sight that greeted him upon exiting was unexpected. The thick scent of blood was so irritating that he couldn't help but frown and instinctively released his skeleton armor to prevent any surprise attacks. In the next second, 3 abyssal hounds appeared and lunged toward him. Lin Moyue quickly realized that he was surrounded by a dense pack of abyssal hounds. Without hesitation, he summoned a skeleton warrior and cleared the few that were closest to him. Just as he was preparing to continue the fight, a blast of elemental magic sent the nearest abyssal hound flying. Several human explorers then formed a protective circle around him, saying, "This place is overrun with abyssal demon hounds." Come with us quickly, and we'll cover your escape. At this time, Lin Moyue also inquired about what had happened. While Lin Moyue was clearing his dungeon, the creatures from the abyss had unleashed a swarm of hounds, encircling everyone. Many had met their tragic end at the jaws of the hounds. After a woman confirmed through the dungeon detector that no one was left inside, the warrior ordered everyone to prepare for a breakout. However, Lin Moyue stood firm, showing no intention of leaving. A hint of a smile flickered at the corner of his mouth as he waved the Reaper's sickle in his hand. Come forth, my skeleton army. The elemental mages of the 4 series were also pulsing with magic, and in the next second, their formidable elemental spells shredded through the hounds. Simultaneously, the skeleton warriors charged, slaying enemies one after another. At that moment, everyone gazed at the battlefield in disbelief. What just happened? Where did all these skeletons come from? Witnessing the skeleton army combat the abyssal hounds, the human squad realized they had underestimated the young man before them. The abyssal hounds proved no match for his skeletons. Without wasting another moment, Lin Moyue commanded, "Everyone, fall back behind me." Although some questioned his order, they obediently moved behind Lin Moyue. "I'm about to unleash an crowd attack skill. I don't want to risk injuring you." As Lin Moyue unleashed the corpse explosion skill, the swarming troops of abyssal hounds were instantly engulfed in a sea of fire. Upon witnessing this skill, the 2 people behind Lin Moyue were utterly astounded. Holy smokes, what kind of skill is this? It's horrifying. On Lin Moyue's side, his rank had been elevated to a 1-star private due to his slaughtering of numerous abyssal monsters. Moreover, the Reaper's sickle had absorbed a significant amount of abyssal essence, advancing to level 3. Beholding the scene that shattered their preconceived notions, a few members of the human race recalled that he had tackled the hell level difficulty alone. Good heavens, did he really solo the hell level dungeon? At that moment, Lin Moyue's rank was promoted to a 2-star private and the Reaper's sickle reached level 4. This upgrade not only boosted Lin Moyue's spiritual power by 600 points, but he also had an inkling that continuing to level up would unlock a new skill. Relieved by the averted crisis, everyone collapsed onto the ground, exhausted, except for Lin Moyue, who felt slightly dissatisfied. "I wish there were more abyssal monsters," he remarked. At that moment, the knight leading the squad approached Lin Moyue. "Hello, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shishinan, a level 31 paladin, from Xiajing Academy." Upon hearing this, Lin Moyue extended his hand in greeting. Lin Moyue, level 23 Necromancer, from Xiajing Academy. Realizing they shared an alma mater, Shishinan brightened. "May I ask, Junior, which class are you in?" Lin Moyue replied nonchalantly, "I'm in this year's class. I just attended the opening ceremony yesterday." At that revelation, Shishinan's shield slipped from his grasp with a bam, hitting the ground. "What? You're a freshman?" At this, Lin Moyue was perplexed. "What's the matter? Is something wrong?" The onlookers sighed in amazement. Are all the new students like this? They reminisced about their own freshman days, barely reaching level 15 or 16 and still attending the upperclassmen's lectures at the academy. Lin Moyue, on the other hand, already possessed the strength to survive in hell level difficulty. Even the team leader, Shishinan, was thoroughly impressed. At that moment, Lin Moyue couldn't help but wonder why Shishinan's team hadn't attempted a dungeon run. The squad members at his side scoffed, "That's 'cause this guy can't tank the monsters well enough." Their team had tried the nightmare level difficulty and almost got wiped out. Shishinan bristled at this. "Am I not just 1 sentry post shield short? Once I complete the sentry post set, I'm confident I can handle it. And if not, I'll simply purchase a different gold-ranked shield to use." A team's mage also took to Lin Moyue, inquiring if he needed any equipment they could offer him at a good price later. Shishinan also echoed this on the side. "Junior, let me tell you, the sentry post set's effects are incredibly potent. Even though you're only level 23 now, it will be useful when you reach level 30. It's wise to prepare in advance." Before he could finish, Lin Moyue produced a golden shield from his extra-dimensional space. "Senior, is this the shield you're referring to?" Upon seeing the shield in Lin Moyue's hand, Shishinan was immediately embarrassed. "Wow, it really is an sentry post shield. It not only increases all attributes by 300, but the resistance to control type skills has also increased by 50%, and it even shortens control duration by 50%. At that moment, he was so excited that he was almost at a loss for words. It was well known that he had been wanting to purchase this shield for a long time, but it had never been available in the trading house. Junior Lin, where did you get this shield? Lin Moyue replied calmly, it dropped from the Guardian of the Sentry Post not long ago. This revelation stunned Shishinan as well. The other squad members were also agape with disbelief. You soloed the hell level difficulty and even cleared it? However, Lin Moyue appeared nonchalant. Yes, that's right. He then handed the shield over to Shishinan. As soon as Shishinan grasped it, the set effect was triggered, and a golden beam of light shot up into the sky, piercing through the clouds. Feeling the significant boost in power, Shishinan eagerly asked if Lin Moyue would sell the shield to him, offering 10 million gold coins without knowing if it would be sufficient. Seeing Lin Moyue hesitate, Shishinan grew increasingly anxious. But Lin Moyue stated that since it was only gold-tier equipment, 5 million gold coins would suffice. Hearing this, Shishinan was deeply moved. However, the noise from the full set he equipped earlier was a bit loud, so the group decided to head back to the fortress first. With the teleportation crystal crushed, Lin Moyue and his companions were transported back to the fortress. As soon as they returned, they saw a blue-haired knight hitting on Ning Yi. Observing Ning Yi's figure, Lin Moyue's eyes immediately softened. Ning Yi, turning her head at that moment, was equally surprised, not expecting to encounter Lin Moyue here. With a look of excitement, she approached Lin Moyue. Why are you here as well? Meanwhile, the blue-haired knight looked on with visible displeasure. In contrast, Shishinan's team tactfully walked away. Ning Yi spoke up, let me guess, is your mission to gather dragon materials? Like dragon horns or something? But she quickly dismissed her own guess, no, that task would be too simple for you. It must be dragon's cores, right? Seeing the woman he liked in this state, the blue-haired man behind her had a terribly gloomy expression. But Ning Yi paid no attention at all, chatting and laughing with Lin Moyue as if nothing had happened. At that moment, the blue-haired knight could no longer hold back and stepped forward to introduce himself to Lin Moyue, Zhou Lusheng, level 30 Holy Knight. Lin Moyue responded courteously, Lin Moyue, level 23 Necromancer. Ning Yi, initially beaming, looked at Lin Moyue with a face of disbelief the very next second. What? You're level 23. So fast. Lin Moyue, aware of Ning Yi's character, said directly, I'll carry you in dungeons later. Ning Yi's smile returned instantly, yes, that would be great. However, Zhou Lusheng was displeased, wait, didn't we agree that I'll help you? Besides, he's only level 23 and will need other people to carry him, so how can he possibly carry you? Overhearing this, Ning Yi became somewhat annoyed, you don't need to worry about that. Seeing this, Zhou Lusheng felt that persisting would be counterproductive, so he reluctantly agreed to let Lin Moyue take Ning Yi. However, he secretly held a grudge against Lin Moyue for it. By the way, Moyue, which difficulty are we going to tackle? Normal or nightmare? Lin Moyue flashed a mischievous smile, you'd better brace yourself, it's going to be hell difficulty. Lin Moyue's words immediately shook Ning Yi to the core. After all, Zhou Lusheng had only promised to take her through the nightmare level. Her face lit up with excitement. Great! I've been eager to try the hell difficulty. Yet, Zhou Lusheng, witnessing the scene, was skeptical. What kind of dungeon can you handle at level 23? I bet Yi will come back tomorrow asking me to carry her through dungeons again. Without delay, Lin Moyue led Ning Yi to the entrance of the Dragon Sentry Post dungeon, using cooldown talisman to reset the dungeon attempt timer. As they fearlessly walked into the hell level difficulty, onlookers whispered among themselves, wait, didn't they both enter hell difficulty? Aren't they courting death? The last time anyone cleared that level, it was the Creation Seminary team from Xiaojing Academy. I seem to recall a particularly formidable female professional back then, known as Sword Blade Dancer. Forget it, it's probably just to take in the view. As soon as they entered the dungeon, Lin Moyue applied the skeleton armor skill to both Ning Yi himself, then summoned the skeleton legion to commence the battle. Ning Yi felt particularly reassured, he indeed still provides the same sense of security. Lin Moyue, having cleared the hell level difficulty previously, knew that avoiding the dragon spearman's control skills in the early stages of the dungeon would make the fight much simpler. Following their strategy and past experience, they quickly dispatched the dragon spearman. It appeared so effortless, despite being a hell-level dungeon. Lin Moyue smiled and remarked casually, "It's really not that difficult." Ning Yi stuck out her tongue mischievously, "Only you would say it's not difficult, while others struggle to complete even the easiest normal difficulty dungeons." Lin Moyue commanded the skeleton army with subtle coordination, impressing Ning Yi even more. He's gotten so much stronger, and he can even summon mage skeletons. In no time, Lin Moyue cleared the monsters in the outer area. "Ning Yi, do you need anything else for your quest besides the dragon cores?" Ning Yi replied with pride, "This lady is also very capable. I completed the first quest successfully and earned the reward. Now, the second mission is to obtain a dragon core, reach level 25, and become a 1-star private." Noticing the full skill +1 Goblin King ring in her hand, Lin Moyue's curiosity piqued. "What is this? Pretty, isn't it? It's crafted from the Goblin King's core you gave me. I completed the first mission before making it, and I almost died." As she was speaking, a monster suddenly attacked her, causing Lin Moyue to become alert. It was the stealthy dragon assassin that had launched the attack. Ning Yi, on the other hand, hid in Lin Moyue's arms, her face filled with fear. But after the initial surprise, she also managed to use her assassin profession's ability to discern the enemy's stealth path. As a result, Ning Yi commanded the skeleton warriors with precision, targeting the dragon assassins and successfully slaying them. "With you here, I don't have to watch out for these stealthy monsters everywhere. I'm still quite formidable." Ning Yi turned her head to see that Lin Moyue had actually already become a 2-star private. Her originally happy face puffed up as she looked at Lin Moyue. "You're too far ahead of me, so from now on, you have to lead me." After Lin Moyue agreed to Ning Yi's request, he brought she straight to the core of the dungeon. Even after clearing it once, Lin Moyue was still nervous. "Yi, stand far away and don't come near me." After seeing Ning Yi obediently retreat to the distance, Lin Moyue spoke slowly to the stone statue in front of him, "Come out and move around, old friend." On the other side, Ning Yi was sitting on a tree, bored, and only showed slight interest when she saw the dungeon boss appear and confront Lin Moyue's skeleton army. That's the leader of the hell level difficulty. With that, Lin Moyue followed the old formula of using the slow curse as an opening, then the sentry post guardian reinforced immunity with resistance enhancement. Then the enraged boss unleashed a ranged skill, group stun, which sent Ning Yi, who was eating a roasted groundnut in a tree, flying straight down. Lin Moyue, however, remained calm and collected, summoning the undead general to release the military influence skill, making the skeleton warrior immune to the stun effect. He himself raised his hand to release the immune to defense spiritual attack, Soul Flame, to scorch the sentry post guardian. Facing the boss's desperate dying strike, Lin Moyue made the familiar choice to recall all the skeletons back to space, circumventing the boss's powerful skills to minimize losses. At this point, the hell-level dungeon boss, the sentry post guardian, was completely under Lin Moyue's control, and he defeated it in one fell swoop, achieving a perfect solo clear. While bursting out with a large amount of experience, Lin Moyue was also rewarded with 3 gold-grade equipment as well as 2 Dragon's Core. Conversely, Ning Yi leveled up instantly and obtained a class change certificate. In her excitement, she wrapped her arms around Lin Moyue. "Class change certificate. Moyue, I got the class change certificate." Seeing this, Lin Moyue was slightly surprised. "Isn't the class change certificate a guaranteed drop from hell level monsters? In hell level, only 1 drops at a time." Ning Yi laughed, "You're the only one who doesn't take it seriously." After the two of them exited the hell level dungeon, Lin Moyue gave the assassin's dagger, a gold grade weapon from the sentry post set, to Ning Yi. "Let's rest for a while before we go for another round." Meanwhile, at the entrance of the dungeon was filled with crisis. A large number of abyssal hounds led by a high-level demon surrounded the humans. By this time, many had already perished at the jaws of the abyssal hounds. Meanwhile, Zhou Lusheng also teleported out from the dungeon. But the next moment, he was shocked. Just after leaving the dungeon, he was attacked by monsters. In the heat of the moment, he immediately activated his resistance aura, sending the abyssal hounds flying. The powerful aura shielded his nearby companions, preventing the abyssal hounds from approaching. However, the scene before him made Zhou Lusheng break out in a cold sweat. The number of abyssal hounds around him far exceeded his expectations. It was then that Shi Shinan warned, "Beware of the demon in the sky." Only then did Zhou Lusheng look up to see the demons flying above. But by that time, the high-level demon was already swooping down, its bone scythe ready to strike. Zhou Lusheng, however, did not seem worried, clearly confident in his aura's protection. But in the next second, his resistance aura proved completely ineffective, and the bone scythe struck his shield without resistance. The tremendous force shattered his shield, and Zhou Lusheng was sent flying like a cannonball. If it weren't for the healer's timely spell, he would likely be dead. He collapsed on the ground, spitting out blood. Shi Shinan stood by, filled with helplessness. He had just witnessed Zhou Lusheng's arrogant demeanor and thought him an expert, only to find he was so unbearable. Gazing at the terrifying high-level demon in the sky, despair overtook the crowd.
Legendary Holy Knight, I should be able to get a reward from my master for killing him, right?
Sensing the despair, Zhou Lusheng hastily sent out a distress signal. But the high-level demons would not give them the chance to summon aid and attacked once more. Just then, the dungeon entrance lit up again. Lin Moyue and Ning Yi emerged from the dungeon. Sensing the abyssal aura on Lin Moyue, the high-level demon became enraged. "It's you. You're the one who killed my children. I'm going to smash you to pieces." It was only then that Lin Moyue noticed the abyssal demon in the sky. The demon had already swung its bone sickle, aiming a vicious blow towards Lin Moyue. The powerful impact was so intense that Ning Yi could hardly keep her eyes open. If not for the skeleton armor Lin Moyue had given her, the consequences would have been dire. When the dust settled, Lin Moyue stood unscathed. "Didn't you eat?" He taunted the demon, who couldn't believe its eyes, and attacked Lin Moyue again in a frenzy. However, no matter how the demon attacked, it couldn't penetrate Lin Moyue's skeleton armor. "Almost there, right? Now it's my turn." He then raised his hand and unleashed a soul flame. In the next instant, the high-level demon clutched its head, wailing miserably. Seeing the abyssal demon attempting to flee, Lin Moyue's hand glowed with a red light. The red shackles of a slow curse wrapped around the demon instantaneously. The surrounding abyssal hounds were also bound by the red shackles, their speed reduced drastically. Realizing the severity of the situation, the abyssal demon struggled desperately. But by then, Lin Moyue had already summoned his skeleton army. Time to end this. In the next moment, hordes of skeleton warriors flooded the battlefield. Witnessing the scene, Shi Shinan finally felt relief wash over him. The abyssal hounds were no longer a threat. At the same time, Lin Moyue cast the corpse explosion skill on the corpse of the abyssal hounds. The resulting explosion obliterated a large number of abyssal hounds. Lin Moyue then walked slowly towards the high-level demon. Checking its attributes, he shook his head. "It's not as tough as an elite monster in a hell-level dungeon." With that, he instructed the skeleton warrior to finish it off. A pure abyssal breath surged into Lin Moyue and Ning Yi's medallions respectively. "Well, the task is complete, right?" Ning Yi, with a beaming smile, "Yeah. Thanks to you, I could complete it so quickly." On the sidelines, Zhou Lusheng watched as Lin Moyue was praised by the crowd, and hatred arose in his heart. Damn! The person shining brightly and enjoying the gazes of others should be me. And now I'm saved by a level 23 rookie. How can I bear this stain on my life? Lin Moyue, I will definitely make you pay. Just after Lin Moyue defeated the abyssal army alone, the guards of the Eternal Great Wall arrived late. They had received the distress signal and came to support as fast as they could. However, when they arrived, all they saw were the corpses of abyssal hounds strewn all over the place. This was when one of the guards asked who had sent out the distress signal. Upon hearing this, Zhou Lusheng walked out with the help of his teammates. After realizing that it was Lin Moyue who had eliminated all the abyssal monsters alone, the guards looked towards him incredulously. The knight captain in the lead couldn't help but wonder how a level 23 professional managed to do all this. But when he saw the 5-star private's medal on Lin Moyue's chest, he dispelled his doubts. People could lie, but medals couldn't be faked. Youngster, you've done well. You should know that many level 30 professionals didn't manage to become a 3-star private, while you're a 5-star private at level 23. Just then, a group of people emitting a powerful aura suddenly appeared in the distance. The leader was a black-haired woman riding a sacred unicorn. Seeing this person, Shishinan was shocked. It was actually the princess of the Mo family of Xiaojing, Mo Yun, a legendary profession divine summoner. At that moment, everyone was captivated by her beauty. Only the captain of the guards calmly informed her that all was well. But just then, the aura of death emanating from Lin Moyue caught Mo Yun's attention. The aura made her feel very uncomfortable. However, Lin Moyue didn't feel anything strange. He only noticed that Mo Yun was already a 4-star lieutenant. At that time, Shishinan mentioned that Princess Mo Yun seemed to be searching for something. Normally, she roamed the depths of the Yuan battlefield, but he hadn't expected her to show up here today. Ning Yi, who was at the side, said that she knew what Mo Yun was looking for, the Nirvana crystals. Upon hearing this, Shishinan was surprised again. So that was it, the Nirvana crystal was a rare material that could increase the probability of class evolution. When professionals reached the second class change, their class direction became clearer, and they also had a slight chance of class evolution. For example, if one was currently a paladin, they could become a holy light knight after obtaining sublimation. Of course, the probability was very low, but with a Nirvana crystal, the probability of evolution could be greatly increased. However, Nirvana crystals were very difficult to find. As far as he knew, in the depths of the Yuan battlefield, there was a type of level 40+ battlefield demon that could drop it, albeit with a small probability after death. At this time, Ning Yi mentioned that she knew of a monster that would definitely drop Nirvana crystals, known as the Battlefield Ghost King. Actually, Shishinan was aware of it as well, but the probability of it appearing on the battlefield was even lower than that of finding Nirvana crystals. Moreover, it was a world-class boss and very powerful. Doubts arose in Lin Moyue's mind. If Mo Yun was already a legendary professional, could there be a higher level above legendary? However, his thoughts were quickly interrupted by Ning Yi. As a rare professional, shadow assassin, she was expected to go looking for the Nirvana crystals when the time came. She then wanted to bring Lin Moyue along in the search. Meanwhile, in the abyss, a pair of blood-red eyes suddenly raged, stirring up the surrounding sand and rocks. It sensed that the abyssal demon it had sent out had been killed. However, it quickly calmed down again. Sensing that something was strange, it decided to make another attempt and then dissipated into the air. A human senior professional not far away witnessed this scene and immediately reported back what had just transpired. By God, who was far within the academy, had an anxious look on his face at that moment, inquiring of Master Meng about Lin Moyue's current situation. Seeing that Master Meng remained silent, the By God simply poured him a cup of tea. Only then did Master Meng slowly relay what he had learned. He had just communicated with the Hall of Heroes and the Tower of Destruction and found out that not only was Lin Moyue fine, but he had also killed quite a few abyssal hounds. He was now already a 5-star private. Hearing this, By God was shocked, clearly not expecting Lin Moyue's military achievements to advance so quickly. And what Master Meng revealed next made him even more agitated. What? He actually killed an abyssal dog demon. But soon, he also regained his composure. The surprises Lin Moyue had brought him never seemed to cease. It looked like the upcoming competition was going to be interesting. The screen shifted, and the Hell-level sentry Post Guardian fell once again. Lin Moyue's level upgraded again with its defeat. After experiencing attacks as soon as he stepped out of the dungeon many times, Lin Moyue became more cautious. He directly applied a layer of skeleton armor to himself and Ning Yi. However, Ning Yi was not amused. How could anyone be so unlucky as to be attacked every time? Of course, she still gladly accepted Lin Moyue's good intentions. As expected, the two of them didn't encounter any danger this time upon exiting the dungeon. However, the Shikigami not far away caught everyone's attention. A huge bull-headed Shikigami dragged a large vehicle out of the mist, which clearly carried an 11-member squad made up of Shikigami summoners from Country Y. They were a group of 11 people with the goal to clear the Hell-level dungeon and obtain a powerful title.